Hi, I'm Andy from Golf Irons UK. I'm here to demonstrate the painting kits. Hopefully you've got one of these in front of you. If you haven't, you can follow the link in the description and you can purchase one. Now there's lots of different combinations identified by the colours on the front of the box here. Obviously this is a full kit with all the colours. Or you've got other kits, obviously red, white and blue. The combinations are endless. Again, you can pick up whichever kit you want in the link. Right, now before we open up the box and have a look at the contents there, first of all what we've got to do is prepare the golf club ready for painting. So ideally what you want to do is clean the golf club thoroughly using an old toothbrush and some soapy water. You can get into the back of the cavity with the club, give it a good clean all round, make sure that's fine and ready to go. Also, to get into the grooves, your sight lines on the front of the grooves, obviously use a wire brush for that. Now if you do want to remove any paint that's in existing paint that's in the groove, you can purchase these groove cleaners. That will, look, this is actually a sharpener, but you can obviously clean that out from there. That will get rid of any paint that's left in there. It is okay to use these kits and paint over the existing paint that's already in there. Okay, you don't have to remove the paint. Okay, so let's put this to one side for a minute and let's have a look at what you get in your kit. Okay, first of all we've got the instructions. That will give you a step-by-step guide on how to do things. And before we start, also in here are the safety warnings. This paint is quite strong paint. It's not your average emulsion. So do take heed of the warnings in respect of, you know, it won't come out of your clothes. Wash it off your skin as soon as it gets on there, if you get any on there. If you do unfortunately get any in your eyes, wash it out straight away with water and get some medical attention, because I say this is pretty powerful paint. Okay, so we'll put that to one side and have a look, see what else we've got. Now we've got the paints, and we've got some protective gloves. Wear those at all times. And we've got an abrasive pad. We'll see what that's for later. And we've got some cotton buds as well to help with the cleaning process. So let's put that to one side and let's have a look at the paints that we've got here. Now first of all, we've got some cleaning solution. Again, we'll see what that's for later. And then we've got the 5 different coloured paints in this particular kit. And we've got the yellow there. Into one side. Right, okay, so that's what you're going to find in your kit. So let's put these to one side and let's get a golf club in, and I can show you how to apply the paint. First of all, put your protective gloves on. As I say, I don't know if I'm repeating myself here, but make sure you've got work clothes on, and also you do this in a well ventilated area. If you're doing it indoors, open windows and doors. Try not to inhale it because it is quite strong stuff. Ideally, really want to sort of be doing this in the garage. You don't want to be doing it in the house or in the kitchen or the lounge. Okay, so first of all, let's just move that. What we'll do is, this is just a bin for the excess cloths. Let's move all these over a moment. Right, first of all what we want to do is put a bit of the cleaning solution into a plastic container, and I've got a small plastic cup here as well. Okay, so we'll put a little bit of that in there, and we'll put that back on. Okay, now on the face of this, on the sight lines, we're going to apply the white to the groove. Don't squeeze too hard. Okay, you don't want to make a mess, you don't want it going everywhere. Okay, now you will need some toilet roll for this. Do use toilet roll. I obviously went through lots of different materials trying to find what works best. Kitchen roll, newspaper, material, toilet roll does work best. Now, wiping off the excess, you actually want to wipe diagonally across the line. If you wipe down the line or this way, you will actually remove the paint from the line, and obviously we don't want that. Now, make sure you've got a flat surface of your toilet roll. Don't scrunch it up into a ball. Okay, and then with quite a quick action, just wipe off any excess, like so. Okay. Right, now at this point, you can get another piece of toilet tissue. Again, fold it up quite neatly. Just dab it into the solution. You don't want it soaking wet. Okay, and then what you can do is just quickly wipe over that area, and that will remove any sort of remaining excess. Now, if you want to get in a bit closer, but again, you don't want it soaking wet, okay, so you can sort of squeeze that out a little bit, and you can get a bit closer with the cotton buds. Now, you don't want to get too close because you don't want the solution going into the paint. Okay, now if there is any residue left, which I don't know if you can see on the camera there, there's a little bit down the bottom here, just on the bottom of this line on the right hand side. Okay, after it's dry overnight, leave them to dry overnight, then you can use the abrasive pad and just lightly rub over the top. Okay, I've actually got a club here that I did last night, and as you can see here, I've left quite a lot of paint on it. Now, you will be able to do a better job than I've done here. Obviously, this is just for the demonstration video, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of black paint around here, and especially on the numbers, you've got, you know, these little raised areas in the middle of the 8. Again, you're not going to be able to get in there with a cotton bud without getting loads of solution into the paint, which will dilute the paint down. Okay, so just leave any residue around the worked on area until it's totally dry, and then what you can do, you can rub over with the abrasive pad, and obviously you'll get a lovely finish onto the golf club there. So, as I say, don't panic too much if you've got a bit of paint around the worked on area. That's quite easily rectified once it's dry. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to the numbers. The process is the same. What I'll do is I'll do this in white, just so you can see how this comes up. Okay. Just quickly going back to your strike lines on the face here. Due to the fact that this is a high impact area, it's going to be hitting golf balls at quite some force. You may want to give that a couple of coats, okay, just to make sure. Okay. Obviously, wait until it's dry the next day before you apply the second coat. Now we're back to the same process again with the toilet roll. Okay, and again at an angle, wipe away any excess. Now that's actually come out a little bit, so what we can do, maybe I applied a little bit too much pressure. You don't need to apply much pressure to the toilet roll. There we go. And again, you may find that if especially on sand irons, the actual metal wears down and you don't have a very deep recessed area, what you might have to do is obviously go over it again the next day. Hopefully you won't. It all depends on the recessed area, how deep it is in the golf club. Now again, probably with a cotton bud around this area, we can wipe away any excess, not getting too close. You don't want to get too close to it. Okay, because as we said, the next day you can complete the job just by rubbing over with the abrasive pad, and that will come up lovely. Now there's a little bit missing off the corner there, but again, I can run over that again tomorrow if I need to. Right, now moving on to the graphics on your woods, your fairways, your hybrids and everything. Now, if for instance we was thinking about doing multiple colours here, what we can do is we can, using masking tape, it's pretty tricky stuff to use with gloves on, what we can do is we can mask off the areas that obviously we don't want to contaminate with paint. So we can lay that across there. Now, just for the purpose of the video, I wouldn't recommend you use blue on here. I don't think the colours are going to go, but we'll put this on here. Again, don't squeeze too hard. Okay. And again, the same process. Okay, again, now this can get a little bit messy around there. Now what we can do is, we've actually got a bit of paint got in to the area there. Now what we can do there, I'm quite glad that's happened actually, because I can show you how to avert this little problem using your wetted cotton bud. Let's move it that way round. We can actually remove most of the paint. Let's put a bit more on there, and we can get into that M, because we've got a bit of paint in the M, so it's not the end of the world. Right, okay. Now, as you can see, again, there's quite a bit of residue left on there, so what we'll do is we'll leave that to dry overnight, okay, and then obviously using the abrasive pad, clean off the remaining excess that's left on the flat area. Now what you can do the next day is then obviously mask up the word Taylor and mask up TI bubble to here, exposing your maid, and then obviously you could perhaps do that in yellow or red or whatever you want to do. Now obviously if you wanted to do here and over here, obviously there's no masking needed. Obviously, you know, you can just crack on with that. You're not going to cross-contaminate any of your colours. Okay. Right, so there we go. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Right, okay, another option you've got with these kits is you can get a second pot, apply some of the paint to the pot, and then using a paintbrush, if you're feeling brave and you've got a steady hand, you can obviously apply some paint and you can touch up areas around the clubs. You know, obviously normally across the top of the face here gets quite scarred, so that's another option as well. Okay. Okay, well that brings us to the end of the demonstration video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and as I say, if you don't already have a kit, you can follow the links and purchase a kit.